How's that to start out, babe, with a double? Yeah.
We're in Kentucky getting after a pair of nuisance coyotes. Flextone's Tooth and Claw TV starts right now.
Hello and welcome to the very first ever episode of Flextone's Tooth and Claw TV. And if you followed us at Wired Outdoors, you've seen field staffer Jon Collins dropping the hammer on a ton of different predators, everything from coyotes to bobcats. And every time we would produce one of these shows, we would receive a ton of emails from you asking us everything from what gear we're using to what calls. So what we decided to do was we wanted to create an educational show that's going to help you become a better predator hunter. Everything from some live hunts, you're going to get to follow us, you're going to see us on our social media pages, and then you're going to see the show a couple weeks later. So we hope you enjoy this very first episode. It's a great hunt at Jon Collins in Kentucky, helping a local farmer out and doing some predator control.
Right here, dude. Right here. Woo! Still on the right. Got it. Woo! He's looking. How's that to start out, baby, with a double? Yeah. Yeah. Good job, baby.
Having an awful fun morning this morning. As you can see, it's real bad foggy. Actually got a phone call from a farmer about a couple of nuisance coyotes and was able to get here to get set up, and then we called them right up, so we should have one happy farmer.
As you all just saw, we had a pretty daggone good hunt. And what I'd like to do is take a moment and give you guys a rundown of what we done to make this hunt successful. First off, we were hunting a spot where we knew there were coyotes. We come out and talked to the landowner. He had saw a pair of coyotes 2 different times in less than a week. He showed us exactly which field he'd been seeing them in, and we had a pretty good idea where they were coming from. We developed a plan how to get in there and where we wanted to call from to try to kill these coyotes. This morning, first thing we done was checked our wind direction, and we soon found out that our wind was blowing in a total wrong direction. We had a plan B. We knew we could come in and hunt this farm from the other side and give us a good crosswind, which worked out just perfect. And when we come in, we set up and we placed our call out to the right at an angle of about 30 yards. And the sound that I elected to use was fawn distress. We maybe could have played rabbit distress or any other kind of sound, and coyotes might have came in. We just don't know. But the reason I use fawn distress is because this farm is just covered up with deer, and the does have really dropped a lot of fawns this year. And I figured that these coyotes have probably heard a fawn crying at some point during this summer. And that's what we done. We played fawn distress for about 4 minutes, and coyotes come busting out into the field, and I'd actually have muted the electronic call before the camera ever come on, tried to slow these coyotes down. But they were still running at a pretty good lope. They got right out there in the middle of the field. I just howled at them with my mouth, and got them to stop just right out there in front of my gun barrel. And I knocked one coyote down. Of course, the second one took off running exactly where it came from. And what I like to do after I make it first shot is I switch to a pup distress or a coyote, either on an electronic call, on an open reed hand call, or mouth diaphragm. And usually what that'll do is that'll make your second coyote either stop for another shot or it'll stop and turn, actually come running right back in, which you saw this coyote do, and we ended up dropping him about 30 yards. And it made for a really exciting hunt, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Great hunt, Jon Collins. To see you shoot that first coyote, then call the second one in all the way across the field was awesome. We want to remind everybody out there, this is going to be an educational, hands-on show, so you don't want to miss any of our announcements. Follow us on all of our social media sites, our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter. You can see our shows on our YouTube channel as well as our Roku channel, which now has over 70,000 subscribers. And we want to thank all of you for joining us on the very first ever Flextone's Tooth and Claw TV.